Okay, so we're on the line with Erin Foley from Freedom515. Good day, Erin. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Excellent.
Good.
So, for all of our listeners, why don't you explain exactly what Freedom 515 is all about?
Absolutely. So, our mission statement, the Freedom 515 movement, is an opportunity for Americans to stand together for our constitutional rights, freedom, and civil liberties. We will no longer accept a government that does not work for the people and a media agenda aimed at dividing this country. So, the time to take a stand in solidarity with your fellow patriots is now on May 15th. So, join us. So, it's a nationwide movement. It's an American movement. It's not a political party movement. It doesn't matter your background. If you resonate with that mission statement, please join one of our events if we have one in your area.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, any of that doesn't matter.
No, if you're just unhappy with the direction of this country right now and some of the things that are going on, if you stand with law enforcement, if you support the Second Amendment, if you're upset about the border crisis, join us on May 15th. And hopefully it's a time to have our voices heard.
That's a whole lot of people.
It's a whole lot of people. Trust me, I have realized it's a whole lot of people.
Yeah, yeah, you've been pretty busy the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. I became a grassroots activist overnight, unintentionally.
Yeah,
But
just from mentioning it on TikTok.
right, a 60-second video just took off, and before I knew it, it was, getting the organization set up and getting the right people in place, and we've had incredible volunteers step up. I mean, this is purely a grassroots movement, so it's been just, I'm blown away by the incredible people I've been connected with and are helping.
Right. And then what brought you to start the whole movement? I mean, just out of frustration or
Yeah, I have a deep love for this country, and a big part of that love is the Constitution and our freedoms. And I think watching the division in the last several years and the mainstream media, and it just feels like it's gone too far. We're starting to go off the rails. And so I think it's time for us as Americans to stand up and hopefully start to slow this down and get things back on the right track. And, I'm a mom, and so I look at my girls, and the state the country is right now is not necessarily how I would want to leave it to them. So if we can try to unite again as Americans and, get back to what we really believe this country was founded on, then why not try it?
yeah, no, that's true. And we were headed in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
like you said, it got off the rails.
it's gone off the rails. So it's
Insert Ozzy Osbourne here.
right. We want off the crazy train.
Yeah, yeah, off the crazy train.
Yeah.
Are you afraid at all for like Antifa or BLM sabotaging some of the events around the country?
It's always going to be a risk. But I do think there's something to be said about doing it anyways, because we can't just function in fear and
True.
have fear lead to us not doing anything.
Yep, true.
We will do everything we can to avoid we're not, this is a completely peaceful movement. So I need to highlight that this is peaceful. If anyone has any ill intent, they should not come. But as much as we can, we're going to alert local authorities of what we're doing and when we're doing it, and work with them as much as we can to ensure everyone is safe and we, have no property damage.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean pretty much that's been your theme from the get-go was to, this is a completely nonviolent event. It's just a gathering, that sort of thing. So
right, it's just to stand in support for our country and for our Constitution, and just hopefully the government can hear us and take note that there are a lot of us out here who have been quiet for a very long time. And I think what a lot of people have mentioned is they've just felt helpless. They didn't really know what to do, but they wanted to do something. So I really hope that this can be the outlet for people to get active again in their community, start to take note of local elections, and really get involved in educating themselves and taking a stand for our country. And I think it would be incredible to see how many Americans there really are and how many people there really are that stand for this.
yeah, and a lot of times people don't understand your neighbor down the street. He may be a Democrat, but if you actually sat down and talked, they have the exact same concerns and fears as you do. And so many people just get on this dividing line of, I'm on the right and you're on the left sort of way of doing things. And there are people like that. I mean, there's the extreme right and there's the extreme left. But It's your most of your neighbors and stuff in your area. A lot of Americans that are divided right now. If they actually sat down and talked to each other, and you got media out of the picture, um,
Mhm.
you would find out that all of us have the same goals in mind.
Right. We all want to live our lives in the land of the free and enjoy the opportunities that are afforded to us for being part of this great country. And I think a lot of us are tired of the divide. So, we're a transpartisan movement. This is bigger than any political party. It's more important than I think anything that we've had to do in recent times because we're so much better together. United we stand, divided we fall.
True. Where'd we hear that before?
I think it's a famous quote from somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, from somewhere way in the past. So, how does one find out more information that's listening to the show about what's going on in their state?
So the best place to go is freedom515.com. We recommend you sign up on our website so we can snag your email address and keep you informed of all the events for May 15th and everything we will be doing beyond May 15th, because this organization will go beyond just our events on the 15th. The idea is if we can get organized enough and big enough, we'll take action with mass boycotts, future nationwide events. And so we want you to stay informed. We do have Facebook groups. We just encourage everyone to get us your email just in case anything happens on the social media platforms to where we aren't able to reach you. If we have your email, then we know we can get in touch with you with details in your area and just what the future holds for Freedom 515.
Yeah, because relying on Facebook just isn't going to work. The social media stuff isn't going to work. We can get taken down at any time. We know that.
Right.
That's why, I'm going to be working with some of the different groups that you already have in the different states. And then during the year is because I knew you were going to go past just this May,
Mhm.
is get in touch with those groups and then do interviews with each one of the groups to let the different states know what's going on during the podcast.
I love that.
So,
Yeah, I think we have about 40 states covered so far. And there are multiple events. I know Texas has several events, not shocking.
yeah, yeah, no.
So Texas will be big. We've got, I think, 2 in Florida. Obviously, we would have loved to do this in every city across the United States, but it's just not feasible with the limited amount of time we have and the limited amount of resources and manpower we have. So we did the best we could, but we're really
In two
excited.
weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
In
So
2 weeks.
I know some people are disappointed, but please bear with us, and we hope we can catch you on the next event.
Yeah. Well, and that's, again, it was just a TikTok little, I'd like to do something. And then boom, it just exploded.
Yep, exactly. I had no idea. This was not on my 2021 vision board. So,
Yeah.
but here we are.
It wasn't on my refrigerator calendar.
It's not in my agenda. It was not in my agenda book, but we're gonna make it happen.
So I know that at the present, I don't think you have a whole lot of merch available, like flags or pins or anything like that for groups. I think you're kind of relying on the local state groups to come up with their own thing, right?
We're working on a few t-shirt designs, and in a perfect world we'd have maybe 4 or 5 different t-shirt designs just to keep it as uniform as possible. Merchandise is something we're going to try to start tackling this week. Obviously our focus up until now was just getting the leader organizers in place and then getting the event set. So this week, just stay tuned. We'll have everything on our website if we do have nationwide merchandise available, and then we'll make sure to send out links on the email list as long as you're on that email list.
Okay. And then we'll start closing this out, but what's the best way of getting a hold of you, the group, all the different contacts available? Because I know you're all over the frickin' place.
Yeah, I am. I have been flooded. So I'm doing the best I can to keep up with everyone. I would say, I'm on Telegram as Logic and Liberty, so you can message me there. We have if anyone, wants to get in touch with us for media, media related or anything, we have media@freedom515.com is a good email for that. And then otherwise, admin@freedom515, or you can contact us through our website. You can send us messages through the website, which is probably the most reliable way to get a response, because at times, I've been talking to a lot of people over the last week. So
Yeah, well, I had mentioned to you on the phone, about a week ago or so, I was so impressed at how quickly and how clean that website looked. I mean, I was blown away by it.
thank you. Yeah, that was I have an incredible tech volunteer helping me out on the back end, but I kind of just popped up the design, and we used the resources we could and got it moving. So I'm just this would not be going as big as it is without the incredible volunteers that have stepped up and surrounded this movement. So we're super grateful.
Yeah, and that's one thing to really note here on any, whether conservative or however you want to go about looking at this, is that it's volunteer driven, and that's one of the things that we really have to start focusing on. Whether, like I said, conservative or Democrat, you want to focus on coming together and starting to get the country turned into the right direction again. And you need to do it. You need to. We have to do it.
If we're going to get this country back to where we would all like to see it, we need to come together. Drop who did you vote for? How did you vote? It's bigger than that. And to me, it's much more important than that. And so if we can just lower the temperature and unite on one, on the same mission, then I mean, just imagine what we could do.
Right. And that's kind of the thing. I know I highlight that in the podcast a lot about the liberal side of things and more on the conservative. But when I'm speaking about that, I'm talking about the radical left and versus the radical right, because they're both causing all sorts of issues and problems. So
yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot more of us in the middle than we realize. So it would be nice to, they talk about that silent majority, and now's the time to stop being silent.
yeah, exactly. Stop being silent. Do something,
right.
Or you won't have a country to live in anymore.
Right. Let's show them we exist. We're all not hiding out in huts somewhere. Like, we're here. We just haven't really known how to step up. And now that opportunity is here.
Yep. All right. Well, Erin, thanks for taking the time out of your day. I know you're like extremely busy.
Thank you so much. You were one of the first ones to reach out, and I really appreciate all your support.
Yeah, nope, not a problem. I totally am behind Freedom515 all the way.
Awesome. And people can find me on TikTok too, Logic and Liberty. If they want to follow me, I'll continue to post updates about the movement and what we're doing.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Erin.
Thanks, James.
All right.
Bye.